So, interesting thing happened today. I got this hat that matches this jersey I got a while ago. The hat was on sale, but I got it after I did the football power ranking. So I'm going to go ahead and wear it now. Interestingly enough, I have a couple of baseball jerseys that are coming that I ordered last week that will arrive now that the season's over. I got a Mookie Betts Boston jersey. It's a nice Red Sox with Betts on the back because it was cheap on MLB.ca or MLBshop.ca, and I got a Tampa Bay Rays, the light blue one. It's really nice. So there'll still be baseball videos. But this is the most insane ending to a game I can imagine, and not for the drama as much on the field as much as for the decisions made. So top of the first inning, Arozarena hits a solo home run early. Now, coming into tonight, the Rays were 7-1 in the playoffs when they score first. So that's a great start for them. And I'm watching this game right away, and I thought Gonsolin is not sharp. He's not sharp. Why is he in there? And I know people are going to say he's an opener. This is how baseball works now. But Gonsolin being the opener and all of the disastrous results that came out of Game 2, the fact that Game 6 started kind of sort of the same way had me thinking, so the Dodgers are trying to force a Game 7? And this was my thought. Now, bottom of the first, 3 straight strikeouts for Snell. Blake Snell was fantastic. Keep that in mind. Put that in your pocket. We're going to come back to that. Second inning, no runs for the Rays, but no runs for the Dodgers. No hits for the Dodgers. Nobody on base. 6 up, 6 down. Snell looks great. Not only that, but his pitch count was low. And that's key. We're coming back to it. Third inning, no runs for the Rays. And by the end of the third inning, Blake Snell had struck out 6 Dodgers. Not only that, but the Dodgers, a team not known for striking out. It's not just that he was striking players out. He was striking out their big hitters. He was striking out the guys. You've got to strike out if you're going to shut down the Dodgers. So, fourth inning, the Rays, nothing. Snell through 4 innings, I should say, 9 strikeouts. Yeah, and again, he's keeping his pitch count low. Fifth inning, nothing happening for either team. And this is where, if you're a Tampa fan, you have to be going nuts because you're thinking, you know what, Snell's pitching so well right now. He's not allowing a run. It'd be nice if he got run support. And by the end of the top of the fifth inning, despite the reality that the Dodgers are using a lot of pitchers, they're going through a lot of them. There's 12 strikeouts by Tampa through 6 innings. 12. So bottom of the fifth, Snell's taken out because he allowed a hit. See, there were 2 hits allowed. He had 9 strikeouts, and he was not happy when Kevin Cash came to take him out of the game. And every former pitcher everywhere is on Twitter going, I can't believe Snell's out of the game. And it's interesting because I know there's a guy on first, and I know they're only up by a run and all this, but Snell wasn't at a really high pitch count. The guys who were coming to the plate, he had already shown he could get them out. This might have been his third time through the lineup, but other pitchers have been allowed that third time through the lineup for Tampa. This is not like they have a game plan that they haven't deviated from in the past. And I understand the stats guys are going to, argue this was probably the right decision, but you kind of have to manage not just from the statistical perspective, but watch the field and get a feel for how the pitcher's doing. Get a feel for his body language and for how the other team is getting frustrated. The Dodgers weren't hitting Snell at all. And this was an absolutely amazing run for Snell. He comes out. That run would score because Anderson, who has been terrible in the postseason, replaces Snell. If you're going to replace Snell, make sure the guy who's pitching after him is good. That it seems like it's pretty simplistic to say that when your back's against the wall. The Dodgers were up 3-2 coming into tonight. So for the Rays, this is their last possible game. Anderson, the wild pitch, Barnes scored on that, and then Seager with an RBI single as Betts comes in. So Mookie Betts gets the lead for the Dodgers, and he would have got my vote for the MVP based on tonight. That's not the way they went. Seventh inning, no runs for the Rays. And this is where you can make this argument as well. So you want to talk about Kevin Cash pulling out Blake Snell? I agree. But the Rays had no answer for the pitching from the Dodgers, who were going through pitcher after pitcher after pitcher. Bottom of the seventh, no runs for the Dodgers. So the Rays did tighten it up. And then Urias comes in. Well, he came in the seventh. Okay, he came in with 2 outs in the seventh. And then he had a 1-2-3 inning in the eighth. And you got the feeling that this game was going to change. Now, Zunino in this game finally gets a hit. Zunino had gone 0 for 15 with 9 strikeouts as of top of the fifth, and in the seventh inning, he finally gets a hit. The LA Dodgers used 6 pitchers in the first 7 innings, which I thought was really weird. And then with 2 down, Urias comes in, as I said. Anderson just, 15 strikeouts by the Rays through 8 2/3. And so in the bottom of the 8th, the Dodgers get Mookie Betts, solo home run. And that was the insurance run. Once you see that, this game is pretty much done. Urias stays in. He ends up getting the save, which, he's a starter. He gets the save. I saw people saying he should get the MVP. Seager gets the MVP. I'm not going to argue that he doesn't deserve it, but I honestly, I would lean kind of towards Betts or Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw, big in both games that he pitched. So the Dodgers win at 3-1. There were 16 strikeouts overall by Tampa. The 16th was the one that clinched the World Series. This is the 3rd straight World Series that has been clinched by a strikeout. 7 out of 26 years since they went to the current setup where you have the wild card system. The team with the best record wins the World Series. So the baseball version of the President's Trophy, only 7 out of 26, including tonight's, the best team has won the World Series. Kershaw finally gets his ring. It's the 7th title for the LA Dodgers. 20 playoff series, including this one for Kershaw, before he gets his title. So he had 19 coming into this one. It was the most series ever played by a player who didn't have a World Series title. Now he's got that. His name is finally up there as a guy who's got 3 Cy Youngs and the World Series. Again, I would have given him the MVP. And this was the 8th straight division title for the Dodgers and their first win, again, since 1988. So you can stop hearing about Kirk Gibson. You can stop hearing about 1988, as this was the last time the Dodgers won. But if there'd been a Game 7 tomorrow night, oh boy, I don't think it would have happened tomorrow night. The 8th inning, Turner's taken out of the game. And they're like, Turner's just not there. And there were lineup changes made. Turner took a test that turned out to be positive for COVID. They got the test result back in the 8th inning and pulled him out of the game. Now, it's possible it's a false positive. It's possible. But if it's not, by the regulations, the team would have to go into quarantine. And so it's possible that coming out of this game, if that's a positive test, that the Dodgers, I would think the Rays, and people that were on the field, including umpires, would have to go into quarantine, into isolation. And the families who partied on the field with the Dodgers after the game. It is the most 2020 thing that could possibly happen during the clinching game of the 2020 World Series. That COVID says, hey, we want in on this too. We want our name on the trophy. And there you go. So Justin Turner was not on the field for the celebration, which, I mean, I feel bad for him, but that's the standard. That's the regulation. They have to follow that, right? And then, I have to say, Kevin Cash was trending as being the MVP of the World Series for the Dodgers, and it reminded me of an old Simpsons episode. You guys know the one. Mr. Burns goes up to Darryl Strawberry. Hey, Darryl, you've had a good game. And Darryl's like, yeah, I've got, I don't know what it was, like 9 home runs, 7 home runs or something. Yeah, great game. I'm going to put this guy in because I'm playing the numbers. And Homer's coming in because, he bats the other way. And Strawberry's like, I'm pretty sure I'm better than that guy. And it's just, yeah, whatever, I'm playing the numbers. The problem with that comparison, and it seems apt to me because Anderson didn't pitch well and they blow the game, is Homer Simpson got the win in that game. He got hit by a pitch. They win the game. So in the end, Burns makes a boneheaded move, but it worked. So I can't say that it feels reminiscent of that. All right, you're coming out, but I'm playing great. Good for you. Hit the showers. All right, we're good. We're going to go to somebody else. This guy, because I'm playing the numbers. It's the same idea. All right. So yeah, that's why Mr. Burns and Strawberry are on the board. That's what that's for. It's to remind me to mention that. And then Rob Manfred comes out and he got booed. And I have to think that if this was, I don't know, in LA and it was a full stadium, the booing would have been deafening. I have to think it would have been absolutely deafening. To the limit that even Gary Bettman, the hair would have stood up in the back of his neck and he would have gone, what? What is going somewhere? Somebody, am I needed somewhere? There's just, it's weird. Something bizarre is going on here. Is that toast burning? Like this, that's the kind of thing. And then the owner gets into it and he makes this big long speech. And it's like, and then they hand it off to his brother Daryl and his other brother Daryl. And it's like, can they get the trophy yet? And then they went back to commercial. And I'm like, look, just give the players the trophy. Just give them, they're already on the field. They've got a guy who tested positive. You're just wasting time until they all test positive. None of them could be on the field. Maybe that was the plan, right? The owner can just run around the field with it. I've always thought this is a strange thing that they do in baseball, that the owner gets the trophy. And I understand why. I understand the owner signs all the paychecks, but let the players have the trophy. The owner wants to give a speech, let him give it later, like a day later. You just say, all right, fans, come back tomorrow. Owner's going to give a speech. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, we'll come back. We'll come back tomorrow. Nobody come back. But, it went on forever. And then it was, 20 minutes later before they announced Corey Seager was MVP, and they even did that awkwardly. They're like, I'm glad to give you the Willie Mays trophy. We already know. You didn't really, it was, oh, man. So baseball has this amazing playoff. They get it all right. Everything comes back negative in a good way. Everything's fine. And then the last game, there's a positive test, and they have this absolutely long-winded handing off of the trophy. And yeah, this is baseball, man. This is how it works. So the Dodgers are your World Series champion. And again, much like in hockey, you don't put an asterisk next to the Dodgers. They busted their asses for this, and they deserved it. And I don't think if this had been a regular season during its 162-game season, I don't think anything was denying the Dodgers. The determination, the patience at the plate. I want to give credit to the Rays, too, though. The Rays managed to drag a lot of strikeouts out of the LA Dodgers, a team that doesn't normally strike out this much. Very solid pitching from the Rays, but Kevin Cash's move to take out Blake Snell is going to be talked about for a long time. Long time. So there you go. This was amazing. One telling stat coming into tonight as well I want to touch on. The Rays were batting 176 with runners in scoring position. In the postseason, the Dodgers were batting 354. The Rays were up against it the whole way through, and it was mentioned on Twitter as well, the amount of money spent. I think the Rays spent $28 million on their roster, and the Dodgers spent over $100 million on their roster. It is apples to oranges. And the fact that the Rays kept this close and it was a nail biter. I know that the Dodgers won it in 6, but this was close. It was a lot closer than people might think when they look back on it. But I can take LAD 3-2 off of there because the Dodgers win the World Series. They get it. They get the trophy. And I'll get a couple baseball jerseys sometime this coming week. And I'll be doing baseball videos as well during the off season because, sure, I talked about doing a misery index for football. I think a misery index in baseball is needed as well because there are definitely some fan bases in baseball that have been through it. So if you're a Dodgers fan, do you feel good now? Everything's good? It's all fine? Here's to hoping that it was a false positive for Justin Turner and that he's 100% okay and nobody else gets hit with it. And yeah, there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It was fun to cover baseball for a change. And I will probably do something similar when it comes to football from here on. Maybe pick a game of the week, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do the Monday Night Football games. But we'll see how that goes and how my schedule looks going forward. But I should have time to do that. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.